Before the season started, Ted, it seemed as if everyone talked about the SEC being the best, the top dog, and then the Pac-12 right behind them. What the heck is happening in the Pac-12 this year?
well, it's unfortunate. Last week the Pac-12 looked top-heavy with only three ranked teams, but two were in the top 10. This week, there's suddenly 5 ranked teams, but none in the top 10. So Pac-12 folks are going to go with deep as opposed to top-heavy right now. But you just have underperforming teams. You have cannibalism. You have a lack of clutch. Stanford, 2 fumbled snaps in the fourth quarter against Oregon. That's just not what a championship team does. And I think you can also trace this to some legitimate personnel issues. Losses on offensive line, losses at quarterback, losses on defense to the NFL draft. 2014 was a legitimate banner year for the Pac-12. In the NFL draft, they had a record 9 first-round NFL picks from the Pac-12. A big Power 5 leading 25 picks in the first 3 rounds. There was a significant talent drain in the Pac-12 that maybe we didn't acknowledge in the preseason, and maybe we're seeing the result of that now in these conference games because everybody's pretty good, but no one looks great.
Yeah, and not just losses to injury, to the draft, but like you look at UCLA, so many losses to injury. Sharon, is the Pac-12 the most disappointing conference so far this season?
No doubt, to me, they're the most disappointing. Ask any analyst entering the season who they would have had in their top 4 for the playoff. I'd say 9 out of 10 would have a Pac-12 team. Now, it's pretty clear it's a very tough road ahead for them. But the reason they're disappointing, you talked about the cannibalization, but in out of conference, the first 2 weeks of the season, they completely disappointed. You had Stanford losing to Northwestern, Arizona State losing to Texas A&M, Oregon losing to Michigan State, and even Washington State, who's like an upstart team right now, they lost to Portland State in week 1. If they had won those games, I don't think we'd be talking about them as missing the playoff right now. Stanford would only have 1 loss. Oregon would be a team on the rise. To me, no doubt, they're the most disappointing.
Is it 100% they're out of the playoff? Unless some crazy scenario happens where everybody starts losing, but they're pretty much done.
You need some crazy stuff to happen.
Only year you can look to at the BCS would be 2007 when you had a 2-loss team getting to the BCS championship game. And by the way, LSU did win as a 2-loss team, but that's the craziest year we've had in terms of the national title picture.